The big hedges are easy. It's the detail work around the sprinklers, the beds, and the mailbox that nobody warns you about, and that's where a good pair of cordless grass shears completely changes the game. But the voltage on the box can lie, and the wrong one will kill your hands in minutes, so I've hunted down the 7 best out there to save you the guesswork. Every link is waiting in the description, so let's dive in. Starting with the WorkPro W159029AE, and this one is all about being featherlight. At just 0.82 pounds, it weighs less than a can of soda, which means you can snake it into awkward angles between pots and fences where a spinning trimmer would just chew things up. It runs on 7.2 volts, charges over a universal Type-C cable straight from a power bank or your car, and gives you around 40 minutes on the Shrub blade. The trade-off is that this little guy is built for soft green growth, not woody branches, so if you point it at a thick old stem, it'll politely tap out. But for shaping lavender into neat spheres, tidying up herb pots, or cleaning up rose bushes without bruising the main canes, it's basically a surgeon's scalpel that happens to be motorized, and it does it in near silence. Picture a Sunday morning on the balcony, coffee in one hand, this thing in the other, quietly rounding off your boxwoods while the neighbors are still asleep, and you'll get why people fall for it. If you've got arthritis or you're just tired of squeezing stiff spring shears, this feels like a genuine upgrade. Now, if you want more muscle without going full chainsaw, the Sacker steps up to 20 volts and throws in 2 batteries, so one charges while the other works. The headline here is the pivoting head that locks at 15, 30, and 45 degrees, which sounds minor until you're crouched at the base of a hedge and realize you're not twisting your spine into a pretzel anymore. Its blades are forged from high-carbon SK5 steel, so the initial cut is clean and surgical rather than crushing the plant. Here's the thing though, that same steel loves to grab sticky sap, and if you let resin dry on the teeth, the motor has to work harder, and folks wrongly assume the battery died. Give it a quick wipe with some resin solvent after each session and it stays sharp for ages, and that one habit alone will double the life you get out of the blades. Pair it with padded gloves because that safety button is a demanding little thing that'll test your thumb over a long afternoon. Speaking of comfort, the Worx WG801.4 takes a completely different approach and builds the whole tool around your wrists. Instead of one blade sliding over a fixed one, both blades move in opposite directions at 1100 strokes a minute, which cancels out almost all the vibration you'd normally feel buzzing up your arm and into your fingers. At 2 pounds with a rubber overmolded grip, you can trim for a long stretch without that numb finger feeling. The real magic though is that it snaps onto a rolling extension pole, turning it into a mini push mower for edging along sidewalks so you can walk upright instead of hunching over. Compared to the Sacker's raw cutting bite, the Worx trades a little brute force for a lot of comfort. And for most weekend gardeners, that's a fantastic deal, especially if you already own other 20-volt tools that share the same battery. Just don't ask it to bulldoze through old woody stems because it's happiest keeping soft growth crisp and tidy. And wait till you see how the Garvee handles endurance. This is the marathon runner of the group, packing 2 2000 mAh batteries for up to 120 minutes of combined runtime, enough to knock out several yards before you ever touch a charger. It's got the same handy pivoting head at 3 angles and a triple safety lockout, but the feature people fall in love with is the little LED fuel gauge on the battery. You know that infuriating moment when a cordless tool just dies mid-cut with zero warning? This one lets you actually see it coming and plan your work around it. Imagine spending a whole Saturday morning working through a big corner lot, moving from the front hedges to the curbside grass to the awkward strip between the pavers, and never once getting caught off guard by a dead battery. Where it asks a bit of you is grip strength, since holding that safety button and trigger together takes a firm hand. So slip on a pair of gloves if you'll be at it a while, but it arrives basically ready to go the second you slide the battery in, straight out of the box. If your budget is tight and you just want dependable touch-up power, the SunJoe WG801.4 is the friendly bargain of the bunch. It runs 7.2 volts but spins at a brisk 1250 revolutions per minute, and it uses a pistol grip shape instead of the straight screwdriver handle everyone else favors, which keeps your wrist in a much more natural position for horizontal cuts. It's phenomenal for that surgical touch-up work around sprinklers and tree bases where a string trimmer would fling debris all over your fresh mulch and chew up the bark you worked so hard to protect. The one thing to respect is that the internal gears are plastic, so this is a finesse tool, not a battering ram, meaning you'll want to keep it clear of woody branches. Funny enough, those plastic gears are actually a clever mechanical fuse. They sacrifice themselves so the motor and battery never overload, and it's all backed by a solid 2-year warranty, which is genuinely rare at this price. For the person who just wants something simple that works every weekend, this is hard to beat. For pure raw speed, the Ogery WG801 cranks it up to 21 volts and a blistering 2000 RPM, the fastest in this whole roundup. That velocity means it slices instead of chewing, which is outstanding against dense, fibrous crabgrass that would tangle up weaker units and leave you yanking clumps out by hand. It comes with 2 batteries for a colossal runtime, and yes, it's wrapped in a loud neon green shell. Which isn't just a fashion statement, it's so you never accidentally run it over with the mower after leaving it lying in tall grass, which, let's be honest, we've all done at least once. If the Ogery is about speed, the next one is about sheer coverage, but first the honest note here. The gap between the hedge teeth is a bit narrow, so thick branches get politely refused, and there's no trigger lock for long sessions, so your hand does stay busy. Think of it as a precision speed demon rather than a wood chomper, and that flat-out RPM actually gives you a cleaner cut that helps plants seal over and heal faster, which your shrubs will thank you for come spring. Finally, the Workprox WX125331AE is the tank of the group, and it's built for coverage. It swings a nearly 10-inch hedge blade and a 6-inch grass blade, so you clear way more ground per pass, which is a dream if you've got hundreds of feet of sidewalk to edge. Right there, it pulls ahead of the featherweight WorkPro, which nibbles where this one devours. The clever bit is the battery itself, which has a bidirectional Type-C port, meaning it doubles as a power bank to charge your phone in the field, and the whole kit tucks into a canvas tool bag. The only real consideration is weight, since at nearly 4 pounds, it makes overhead work a real shoulder workout, so it's ideal if you value coverage over featherweight handling. Picture a weekend at a remote cabin, clearing the overgrown path to the door, then using that same battery to keep your phone alive off the grid overnight, and you'll see why this one's in a class of its own for off-grid property work. So how do you choose? If you've got limited hand strength or you're working balconies and pots, the Featherlight WorkPro 7.2 volt is your motorized scalpel and a real gift for tired joints. For sore backs and vibration-free comfort, the Worx WG801 is the smart, future-proof pick thanks to that rolling pole. When the job runs for hours, the Garvee and its LED gauge are the endurance champs, while the Ogery is your speed demon for dense grass and clean plant healing. Budget-minded weekend gardeners will love the pistol grip SunJoe. Detail artists shaping soft topiary should grab the SK 5-bladed Sacker. And if you want maximum coverage plus an off-grid power bank that keeps your phone alive, the mighty Workprox is the tank you want. So there you have it, that's my honest take on all 7. And every link is right there in the description to make your choice as easy as possible. Drop a comment telling me which one fits your yard, and I'll see you in the next one.